Hello gamers, the deck today is Truth Rune and pure Truth Rune. No nothing else. The win condition is pure truth and pure truth only. And if you think that I went crazy, I think you might be right, because there's no way this deck should work. It shouldn't work. I somehow made it work. It's still really bad though, but it is at least viable. And yes, every single truth card is run in this deck. Devotee of Truth, Congregant, Supplicant, Institute, the Ghost Spell, the big guy himself, all of it is run to the maximum copies that I can. Well, I would love to run Valhalla at 3, but she's a legendary, I'm not willing to craft her. But I dedicated, frankly, way too much resources to this deck. I even tried out a variant with 2 Fairies and 2 Ruler of Corsiters. I cut them down to 1 because with Ruby and Apprentice Astrologer is plenty enough to keep them in the deck. And frankly, they were going to come back to your hand regardless anyways. But this is something. This is like that one regret you have after that one night fling. I'm starting to feel it now. Kinda like I really shouldn't have liked this deck as much as I did, but it did feel good. Because let me ask you just this one very simple question: do you like to draw cards? And now, do you like to draw a lot and a lot and a lot of cards? That is basically this deck. In fact, I'll let the gameplay speak for itself. I got not a lot of games for this today because it was really difficult to win with this deck sometimes, but when it wins, it makes you wonder how you even win. But if you're interested in trying this deck out, here's the QR code. Deck list will also be in the description down below. And before I move on to the gameplay, just a quick mention of some of the key cards. As Apprentice Astrologer here does combo with is used to throw Jerry or Ruler Corsiters back to your deck, but she also is the only fuel for Norman. So that's the only thing you need to take note of. And you don't want to stack too many dirt sigils, because you only want to stack enough for Norman to use his effect, but not too much that you bot lock yourself, because bot is a big problem with this deck. But there was a way that I managed to avoid that problem, so you will see that in the gameplay. I'm very proud of that one. So yeah, remember to leave a like for more Shadowverse content like this, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the gameplay. So for our game 1, we're against Dragoncraft. And this one, funnily enough, is also a Jerry deck. I'll put it out here first. It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Well done.
And it upsets me a little bit, honestly, whenever I see a match. I'm going to a mirror, well, quote unquote mirror, Jerry mirror, where they want to play Fanny, and then they go into who is that? Jerry, and then they go into Corsiters, and they go into Tablet, right? I'm always upset when I see going into this, because it reminds me that they not only does Dragon have access to Ramp, they have access to Fanny, and then they can get everything out so much faster than Rune can get out Ryo. But we somehow managed to raise them there this time. I believe this Dragon player got really unlucky and didn't draw the right cards, but and we are here to take advantage of every single fact that we have. And you might be wondering, why am I running a Devotee of Truth in this list at all even? Honestly, I don't know how, I don't know when, but she just made herself into the list at one point in time, and she stuck around because I think she was a pretty good heal option for us actually. You know, whenever we want to heal, it's a very good option, especially since this deck lacks heal. Now you may be wondering, why not run Sage Light instead? Well, Sage Light is a spell, so if we end up drawing to it, we actually don't draw anymore, especially if we top deck it. So that's why I actually end up cutting it. It's a really ridiculous reason, but it's the reason why I cut it nonetheless. But yes, as you can see, they managed to get Fanny out on this so fast. Oh, essentially, even with their mana cheat as well, they use their Dragon Strike to literally just cheat out their Fanny beforehand, basically ramping. It's like, and then they go into another Fanny. Like, come on, that's like all the setup of your dreams, basically. After this, like, genuinely, I don't even know how I'm supposed to win it, quote unquote, but I persisted regardless anyways. That's the moment they draw like 3 or 4 cards, I'm gone. And they have so many draw at the same time as well. Look at this. They're drawing 2 cards every turn. I'm surprised I'm not like dead to like double Genesis or something. Well, actually, double Genesis isn't possible anymore because of Tablet of Tribulations, but it's clear they're going for the Jerry Cositus combo. And like the moment they draw it, it's over. Simply put. Well, not quite. You see, because once we get this train going, you start drawing a lot of cards. We drew one from this, or another one from this. You will at least target our own followers to draw again. Just keep on drawing, and then we toss Ruby back to draw another card to look for more things to draw. Play Supplicant, clear our board to draw again. Play Valharia to draw again. This was the only where I still run Leah, and she was another draw, and then I end up with Devotee of Truth. Just okay. I just want to count how many cards we drawn this singular turn. Okay, watch. I played probably enough cards. Okay, we draw one from this, draw one from Tablet, from Tribulations, draw one from one from Valharia for total of 2. Draw one from Institute of 3 for 3 cards total. Draw one from Congregant, which activated the ability, so for a total of 4, and then it destroyed. And then we played Voracity on our own follower to draw another card for a total of 5, and then we played Supplicant to draw another 2 cards for a total of 7, and then we played another Valharia for a total of 8 cards. We drew 8 cards in one turn. And then we could draw another one from this.
So this is very frost blooms in my domain.
I don't know. It's working somehow, I suppose.
Disguise the core.
And because they went for fighting play that turn, which was really slow, it actually gave me an opportunity to play another Ryo, and which didn't really matter anyways because I was waiting for the thing. And then they go into Jerry. I think they went into their Cositus. I believe they found their Cositus, but they didn't find their Tablet of Tribulations, which is why they couldn't finish it this turn. I think you can see they went directly for this combo. Like,
this starving world,
they just went straight for it. And normally at this point in the time, you would lose the game, right? Like, quote unquote, lose the game, right? Like, just saying, lose the game, right? Guess what? I only have 2 cards left in my deck. One of them is Cositus, which I basically guaranteeing with the Engage. And we managed to beat him to the Cocytus combo because we just drew so many cards in one single turn. Like, there's so many cards drawn. We draw 8 cards in one turn and we didn't mill. That's the crazy thing. That's game 1. How is this working? I don't know. I don't know. So from the first game, like, you may be under the impression that, hey, maybe this deck might be half decent because it actually managed to race against Fanny Dragon. No, it's not. It's really not. Like, after like I have lost way more games, I gone to the depths of the bottom of the ML ladder where I believe the game just started. The game just decided to start giving me free wins because, and I matched players that I don't even know is. And decks, in fact, that I didn't even know was possible to be in Shadowverse right now on ladder. Like, it was so bad. And I found myself there because of this deck. When I was tinkering with this deck, I just keep trying and trying, losses after losses after losses after losses. And we managed to find our second game against Haven. I will say it's not like this deck doesn't have alternate win conditions. The alternate win conditions are just heavily unreliable. And when I mean heavily unreliable, I mean like heavily unreliable with a capital H. Like, for example, Haven. I did win some games against Haven, but most of the times they didn't draw Merowin on time, so they didn't do enough damage to me. Also, it was slow enough that I could win. not reliable.
Exposed
It's not often that they never draw their Marowin. But sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they just don't. And you know, we take advantage of those. We take advantage of those moments, for example. But yes. Here you can see they didn't draw Marowin on time, so we get one quote-unquote free turn, but they did have it immediately after, which is still fairly early, honestly.
Still your heart.
Banish,
This is it.
evolve, you know Crest Haven, but even despite this, Crest is a very slow deck. So now I keep healing, I find myself enough heal, I could theoretically survive as long as I want.
Lives are pointless.
And I did find heal. Devotee of Truth is one of them. I didn't heal for much here. And I'm willing to leave this Marowin up because it's in their best interest to not attack. But if they attack, they don't get the benefits from their crest. So I'm perfectly fine with leaving that up because sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But all in all, it doesn't really matter most of the time. And also one thing that you might notice, a lot of these games that I quote-unquote win is because I'm going second. In fact, I believe I'm on most of my games going second is because dropping Ryo on turn is just so much better than dropping it on turn 9. Oh my god, turn 9 Ryo is way too slow for his effect, man. It's like, I is Fanny 8 in a class with ramp and Ryo has to be 9.
Of thy being.
Upsetting. I'm just telling you, upsetting. It's so upsetting. I don't understand. I mean, to be fair, I know exactly what side games is going for. By the way, you see they misplayed that. I don't know if it's a misplay, but they decide to wipe them, clear, unboard lock themselves for an additional draw, which I honestly don't think they should have done. Didn't feel like the right play to do, but it did give me like a free turn, quote unquote, to go into another Ryo. Ryo because like this spot isn't threatening. If they attack, they don't get his crest. If they don't attack, while my Ryo is sticks on board, they need to find a way to clear it consistently. And they decide to attack through just to clear the board, but now they don't get the burn. You know, the considerations you have to make.
My students shine.
And then I can just heal with normal, push myself back all the way back up, my health total all the way back up to, so that they have to go through all of that again because we love Haven, am I right guys? I love facing Crest Haven. But you can see we found Institute of Truth, which is a very fun card in certain ways, and well, it didn't I didn't maximize its value this time because I drew into a Stormy Blast, which is really unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is, right? Sometimes you don't get everything you want in your life. It happens, we get it. But we drew into a 0 play point Norman, and I'm telling you, the amount of cards we are about to draw is going through the roof. Like, just naturally draw. Okay, I didn't go for a draw here, I went for the heal. Very important, because if I went for a draw, I would have decked out. That was how close we are for the decking out here. And even now, we are still drawing cards. It's just like keep drawing cards, clear my board out. That wasn't actually to do anything, that was just to set up, so clear out space a little bit. But we peel back up to 18 with our cards, basically spending only 7 play points and drawing 10 million cards in the process.
This starving world begs for me.
Embrace.
And they managed to get a bit more burn in with their crest, but it's frankly too late. We assembled the Exodia and
Divinity.
you know how the combo goes. Garawin, Ocultus, Tablet.
Congregation.
You know what's the funniest thing? I'm pretty certain I can draw out the deck even without using Tablet, but no, never mind. It's probably not possible, but yeah. Just like that, we got another victory for this deck. Now, for my third game, another Haven matchup. You know, maybe you're wondering why I didn't look for another class. Well, I had almost one win against Mode, but I didn't draw well, so
It's a game.
surprising, right? For a deck that literally draws through their entire deck after a certain point, after dropping 1 or 2 Ryos. But I actually didn't draw in. I decked out against the Mode deck actually by mistake because I didn't count the amount of cards left in my deck. And
Ease up.
yeah. this deck wasn't fast enough to win against other decks, or actually against fastest decks, right? After a certain point, they just concede because they don't have. They just. I wouldn't say a lot of times because most of the time against good decks you lose, right? But there were moments where what happens that they ran out of resources and we still have like 1,000 resources and just left the match because they thought I was spell boost. Which was upsetting to say the least because I am not playing spell boost, but what can you do? What can you do?
My final.
Like genuinely, how can you think I'm spell boost after I played like Congregant of Truth? I don't get it. Like I don't, but
Repent.
yeah, Salifa. Salifa, starting to see this card a lot more in like some I'm actually not a lot more. I do see this card in some Haven lists, not often though. When she appears, she does appear and she does do good work. And this one, similar pattern to the previous Haven player. This one is also playing very slowly. Over here, I did just use this Devotee of Truth. I wasted the heal in a sense to just draw. Considering this Haven is super slow, haven't even dropped a Merylwyn despite going second, which is really surprising actually. Like generally, if this happens, right, it's like a recipe for failure, if you know what I mean. We go into Valharia here. I was planning to just throw it away. If they play a Wilbur, I wouldn't have any answer other than use Norman as a counter answer, but it didn't matter because I found the card I was looking for, Ryo. And here I decided just use the Norman to, you know, eat up the clear out the dirt from the floor, and also just set up prepare for Norman for Ryo next turn. In fact, they were really slow. And this board forces an answer from there as well, and it specifically forces Unholy Vessel, which they did play, so delayed them another turn. They already lost the crest on the first follower they played, and we drop Ryo. Once again, the deck is discounted and primed and ready to go. I did play the spell on the empty board to set up Supplicant of the Truth. I do need him to draw, otherwise the rest of the cards that Ruby here doesn't actually draw in a traditional sense. And now he's active too. Like he's active the same time as I am active, which is frankly really bad for him. Really bad. Ridiculously bad. In here, in hindsight, I shouldn't have tossed the other Supplicant back because he could have been extra draw. I didn't notice. I noticed I was planning to throw it back so he can get discounted by another Ryo, but I realized that, oh shoot, I don't actually have another draw in my hand. So oopsies. Oopsies. Gave them another turn. Oopsies. But good thing, luckily I drew Institute of Truth, which is the single best quote-unquote draw in my deck. Like, you play it right, you can draw 5 cards in a single turn. Which I didn't. Well, at least not yet. I did draw a lot of cards though. Oh, like a lot of cards. Oh, like a lot of cards. Oh my. I completely used up this countdown. And it's literally only one turn. That's how fast we went.
My final rest.
we should have blitzed through the countdown of that card. We played so many cards and we are down to 9 cards in deck. One of them is indeed the one I'm looking for is Jerubane right now, but I don't actually want to draw him yet because as you can see, I did draw a Ruler of Cocytus before I discounted it a second time. So we don't get an OTK, and I especially want to set up an OTK against Haven specifically because if I don't, it's a little bit difficult to win. We use Normal here to draw again, as you can see. Draw, and we found the tablets, but we didn't find what we were looking for. Here I misplayed a little. Okay, I didn't misplay, but I did do it intentionally. But because I want to get an Earth Sigil for Norman. I was thinking between heal or a bot here, and I decided to go for a bot, right, just to pressure them a little bit more. You know, this bot is pretty scary. It forced another Unholy Vessel, and they did get free access to my face, unfortunately. But it happens sometimes. And
Skies the
here I'm really trying to dig for my last card. And
Eyes are point.
you can see how like Devotee of Truth actually does do something. And you have to be very careful here because like I'm so close to decking out.
dream to
Like ridiculously close. I was too. If I accidentally play any other card, right, I would have decked out from the Institute of Truth because every single card in my deck has their cost modified in some way or another. But this does guarantee a Jerry. Actually, let me just see what happened. What would I have done if I didn't draw Jerry there? You know what's funny? I think if I didn't draw Jerry there, I would have lost. Yeah, that's probably okay. Maybe not that funny, but I really needed a Jerry like on that specific draw. Otherwise, I would have lost the game. Because of the Institute of Truth misplay there. But thankfully, he was the second last card in the deck, which allowed me to draw the last card without decking out. You draw so much cards with your deck stack, man. What? Maybe I should call this Miracle Rune? This is like, it's kind of like a Miracle Rogue in a sense, except it happens so late in the game, but... And the combo, you could see that we basically almost deck ourselves out entirely without any other card. I think I could have just drawn through without using the Jerry effect as well. Like, this deck is kind of nuts, if you know what I mean. I don't know, man. This deck pains me to use. No, it's not painful. It's fun to play, but it's like it's the more I look at this deck, it's fun, but like it fills me with so much regret, man. I don't think I have this much regret playing so much fun and regret playing one single deck in the history of Shadowverse before, but in my history of playing Shadowverse, like damn. What a list. What a deck. I don't know. You know what, if you're free to play, it really shouldn't work. I don't know. I'm going insane from this deck, so I'm gonna end this as soon as possible. Here's the QR code. Deck list is also in the description down below. If you're new to the channel, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Save yourself, please. And I'll catch you guys next time.